let's go to the next part. Elon actually said something very interesting, of which I will personally be paying a lot of attention to. He was replying to a tweet where he says, the obvious reality, as longtime users know, is that Twitter has failed in trust and safety for a very long time and has, quote, interfered in elections. Twitter 2.0 will be far more effective, transparent, and even-handed. Now, I have a lot of questions about what interfered in election means. There's a lot of different ways to read that. You could read it as colloquial, as banning the Hunter Biden laptop story has implications under elections, most likely. That's what he means. However, what I'm really interested in is DHS and specifically state government cooperation with Twitter's teams that we may not even know about. What is banned? What is not? What is considered misinformation? After Ken's great scoop, which he broke and talked about here on our show the day of, the amount of cooperation happening between the national security agencies and the major social media companies on what's considered misinformation or not is far deeper than any of us even know. So, while I am very sympathetic to the argument about banning the Hunter Biden laptop story is election interference, I actually do think it's true. How you regulate and all of that is a much bigger question. It could go a lot deeper than that in terms of what the Twitter files could show us. Look, it's probably hopium on my part, but I would really like to see what exactly that entails.
Yeah, same.
It also comes on the heels of a new blog post published by Twitter, which I think is very interesting because this has to remain consistent, again, what we talked about with both European, US, and other country standards. Put it up there. He says, Twitter 2.0, our continued commitment to the public conversation. Twitter's mission is to promote and protect the public conversation, to be the town square of the internet. We have always understood to reach this goal, we must give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Today, we are a new company embarking on a new chapter. Our steadfast commitment to that mission has not changed. We have always understood that our business and revenue are interconnected with our mission. Brand safety is only possible when human safety is the top priority. All of this remains true today. This is the interesting part. What has changed, however, is our approach to experimentation. As you have seen, Twitter is embracing public testing. We believe this will open and transparent approach to innovation is healthy. We believe that as a service of this importance, we will benefit from feedback at scale. We do this work to improve Twitter for our customers, partners, and the people who use it across the world. So the reason why this is important is it's trying to balance, Krystal, the free speech element, but when you continue to read, it's actually more of a message to advertisers. It says, we want to assure you, none of our policies have changed. Our trust and safety team continues its diligent work to keep the platform safe from hateful conduct. When urgent events manifest on the platform, we ensure all 10 content moderators have the guidance they need to address violative content. As we improve, bad actors will also develop new methods. They're like, we're working on this. Finally, we will make mistakes, we will learn. So I think this is both trying to balance as an official statement of company policy, free speech, but also to the advertisers being like, no, we do have some of this under control.
I read
fundamental tension.
I read this also as a memo to European regulators because like we were saying before, one of the things that the European regulators are apparently concerned about is the sort of haphazard approach to who's banned and who's unbanned. And so what he's trying to say here is like, nothing's really changed. Right. They do throw in this line, I thought this was the most significant line, where they say, what has changed is our approach to experimentation. As you've seen, Twitter's embracing public testing. We believe this open and transparent approach to innovation is healthy, blah, blah, blah. So they're trying to say like, oh, the Twitter polls and the various things that we try, this is just a little bit of experimentation, but overall, our policies are consistent with what you have allowed in the past. European regulators was how I read that anyway.
Yeah, I think you're probably correct. There's also another interesting point that came out last night. Let's put it up there on the screen. There was a meeting between Tim Cook and Elon yesterday. Elon actually tweeted out a video of getting a tour of the Apple campus. He says, quote, good conversation amongst other things. We resolved the misunderstanding about Twitter potentially being removed from the App Store. Tim was very clear. Apple never considered doing so. So a little personal diplomacy on the part of Tim Cook. It's kind of interesting. You know, I talked previously about that book, Super Pumped, that I read. Tim was actually very involved and does actually get involved at the App Store level with major companies. He actually called Travis Kalanick in when he was the CEO of Uber to have him explain himself on how Uber could remain on the platform. But clearly, Tim Cook saw it as one of those things that has to be really nipped in the bud. I will say this about Tim Cook. As a diplomat, he is one of the best to ever have a job. Oh, absolutely. There's a book I read blanking on the name. It's by a guy from the New York Times called like Apple After Steve Jobs. And it's kind of a sad story because the point is that Apple really stopped innovating at the very highest level with new products, but they quadrupled their stock price and revenue because they started looking at it as a platform, as a service on which you can continue to upsell customers and lock people into the ecosystem. Tim Cook is like that business manager, like squeezing value out of the value that's been created, but also as a diplomat, like his personal diplomacy with Xi Jinping, with Trump. He played Trump like a complete fiddle to make sure that Apple was not impacted by any Chinese tariffs. And also, at a business level, anytime he sees a potential threat to the brand, like about being censorship and all that, he always skates in.
Well, I'm disappointed by this outcome because personally, again, I found it useful.
It is
Elon being at war with Apple because remember we had a great conversation about like this is a monopoly and that's why a monopoly is bad and here's the exorbitant fees that they're charging and like the sort of capricious decision making that's totally non-transparent. They put these companies through the paces and nobody should have this much control. So I'm a little disappointed at this resolution. Personally, I liked the two of them being at war.
The point is that he's a good diplomat because he doesn't want anybody.
He doesn't want to have that conversation. Does he? He didn't like those news stories, so he's found a way to move beyond it.
Correct.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.